All right. Can you hear me, everyone? I'm not sure if I'm online or not. Let me review my system. Where my input? What? Okay. 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 Can you hear me? I'm not sure. Oh, I know what happened. Yeah, I can hear myself. Okay. Looks like we are online. Hello, everyone. My name is Pete, and this is Ifan Tips podcast. Welcome. Welcome to the third edition, the third episode of this series. And well, thanks for being with me during this morning. I mean, if you are in Americas, it's pretty early to you. If you are in another part of the world, thanks too for being here and uh, spending time, enjoying time with this conversation with you. Um, Let me, before starting with everything else, let me tell you that I had a really weird week. This week was the 4th of July, and well, a lot of celebrations around in US, um, and everything was cool until I uh, got some cold symptoms, and well, for the last 2 days, I've been you know, out, just in the bed as much as I can. That's the reason maybe you haven't seen any post on the Twitter or in other social networking from me because I've been well trying to take a rest, and well, that's kind of some interesting thoughts. How much did you take a rest? How frequent do you spend time, to restart, to reset your brain? Because sometimes the body is just screaming you that you need to, take a break, right? Take um, a time with yourself to recover after a lot of stress, a lot of situations. And I think that's why I got that. Sometimes, you know, too much stress, too much, situations in your life and make you uh, feel bad for something, for some situations. But I hope if you're one of those, please take a rest at least this weekend, and maybe you can go back to whatever you're doing next week. It's just a comment. Well, hello, Saul from Mexico City. Hi, Ivan. Thanks for coming, man, and thanks for posting the live stream in other platforms. Yeah, thanks for being here. And oh, we are not guys. Well, nine folks. I mean, um, and I think in this episode, I would like to explore a little bit more of what I did during mm, to not this week, but last week. Um, I created a few shorts, and well, trying to explain really quick a few things like how to scan 3D objects, and also exploring um, Swift Foundation. Maybe not the Swift Foundation that you know so far, which is a a framework created by Apple, and is you know not open sourced. But this one is open sourced, and eventually we're gonna use that framework instead of the foundation. That's a great opportunity for us to understand how things work internally. And that's one of the reasons I started the channel. I wanted to take the time to explore things because I'm curious about how things works internally, and also, well, trying to explain that, because if you're capable to explain to others what what you're saying, or what you're trying to learn, then you learn it. Because there's no other way that you can explain something if you don't understand the concept. um, and well, that's the plan for this episode. By the way, I remember what I said a few moments ago about that. I've been blackout for 2 days. Um, well, I just woke up not not very late, but I would like to you know woke up a little bit earlier, just because I didn't have time to bring my coffee or bring any liquid to me. So I don't know, my body start feeling that I need some kind of water or anything. But well, anyway, so we're gonna be here just a few minutes. So let's see, let's manage myself about it. All right, so let's get started then. For the first topic, which is I would like to talk about the the foundation framework. Let me share my screen. That's a cool thing about the live streaming. Yeah, you can do this right away, and I don't know, it's cool. Let me just foundation. Okay, I got it here. Let me see if I can do this. Share a video. No, share screen, I mean. There you go. Okay, maybe this is not the right. Maybe this is the right one. Yeah. Let me make this screen better. I mean, I don't know if you can see this, but let me. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Yeah. So this is this Apple slash Swift Dash Foundation is the place that you can explore to see what's coming from this foundation framework. And for those that don't know what is the framework, foundation framework about it, it's basically the essential framework in Swift or in iOS to provide um, basic types, primitive types, let's say, and some kind of, I mean, the most you how can I explain this? Um, you know, there is something called the Swift primary libraries. Sorry if I'm. Let me let's do this. Swift. I'm not sure if it's Swift primary library. Maybe I'm wrong. Please leave it in the comments, please. Oh, sorry, standard library. This is one, right? And maybe you could get confused um, about this one, right? And it contains a lot of information, a lot of researchers types, etc. This one contains a little bit more, and especially for this kind of types. For example, data. It's, mm, I mean, it's a basic type, but maybe not too basic like an int or string. For example, here we have strings, but this is another kind of strings. I mean, it's extensions of the string type. There are others like date, JSON encoders and decoders, UUID, or calendar, time zones, etc. So I'm pretty sure that this list will grow over time. But as you can see here, it's like not too basic, but it's still basic types for to use in Swift. And one of those is date. Um, date is kind of super basic, right? This is the object that manage the time in some way. If you want to display um, anything um, from Twitter. Uh, I don't have here an iOS app, but you know, if you want to know, oh, okay, this post was made um, uh, 10 minutes ago, or I don't know, set an alarm in from your uh, clock application. Well, those kind of things are related to date, right? And thanks to this open source um, framework, we're capable to see what's going on internally. And the way to navigate to this is, well, just take a look through sources. Sources will give us access to the code internally, and one of those are a folder called Foundation Essential. And here we are. Here we have many files related to the types that we mentioned earlier. And you can see here many of those. I would like to explore any of those in details later. But let's focus on the one I studied during this uh, weeks ago, which is date. As you can see here, we have date here, and it's pretty cool because for the first time in decades, I guess, we can see what's going on here. And spoiler alert, since that this is a essential piece of the it's a essential component for Swift, please don't expect that this will be you know uh, a straightforward implementation, because it involves many um, low level APIs, and also is trying to be compatible with other operating systems. You will see that in a moment. So yeah, maybe there's code that you haven't seen uh, in your life before, but it's kind of, let's just to figure out from ourselves what's going on here. Um, okay, so the basic way is just to look into this public struct date, and you can see a lot of the uh, protocol conforming to this type, right? But the interesting part, oh, look at that. I can see the reference to this uh, word. The interesting part here is this one, get current object, because if you just create a date object in, let me bring the playground. How playground here? Oh, you know, for some reason, let me see if I can open. Yeah, I still have Xcode 15 beta 2, but the beta 3 is already available, but I haven't started that one. Let me just open that again. Foundation. There we go. So Ivan is asking, Foundation project also compiles on Linux. Yep, that's correct. We're gonna see that just in just a moment. Well, please ignore this. I will go back in a moment about this one. By the way, here we are importing Foundation, but again, this Foundation is not the same Foundation that you're seeing in the source code in GitHub. This one is provided by Apple. Eventually, I guess we can use something like this Foundation. But I don't know. Right now, I haven't tried it by myself in the code. Um, but I was saying that, I mean, every time you do this date equal date, you may see that we have many ways to create this object, right? But the default one says that returns a date initialized to the current date and time. Okay, so basically, I mean, if you run this, well, print date. If Xcode would like to print something in the screen, you will print the current date. Maybe it's not well format, but anyway, it will be the current date in the system. Yeah, Xcode is not working today, like always. What's going on with these playgrounds? Oh, thank you. Sorry for saying something wrong about you. If I remember correctly, this is in the time zone zero in Greenwich. I don't know, but look at. I mean, you will need a date formatter for this. But this is the point of that. So let's see how that initializer works. Let me stop again and let me go back to Swift Foundation. Okay, so yeah, you have seen this. Return a date initialized to the current date and time. So here we are. This is an initializer that we need. And this initializer, it's having an internal, a private variable saying called time. Well, uh, underscore time. And underscore time is saving the current absolute time. Hmm, that's interesting, right? So let's then find the declaration of this function. Look at that. So here you are, you can see the extension of date, and this is providing a static function that will is invoking this current absolute time and returning an interval time. Question for you: what is an interval time? Well, sorry, a time interval. Maybe the answer is in the screen already. Don't worry if you don't know what is going on. But look at that. Internal time is actually a simple double. There's no magic. But maybe this is a better name in the context of time to describe just that those doubles are uh, seconds. Okay. And those seconds will be returned by this function and printed in the system. If you saw earlier, we are not displaying in the playground. We are not displaying, uh, you know, a boolean, but we are displaying uh, a time format. Maybe it's not well formatted for us, but it's still formatted in a way that it's recognizable as a date. But that's another story. That's one of the maybe interfaces that are displaying this. What can I say? I don't know. Maybe there's another protocol that we can explore later, but not today because we have a lot to cover right now. Let's go back here. And as I said before, you are capable to run this code in Windows, for example. And if you run this in Windows, you will execute this. Okay, and there is a dedicated calculation, but basically both of those, no matter if you're running for Windows or not, will provide the same result in theory. Okay, so let's leave this out and focus on this one because this one is the one that will be executed in Unix like operating systems, which means Linux or Mac OS. Okay, and it's a shorter uh, code for us. So as I said, mm, so you might say in the um, short I created, yeah, you create a time spec um, value here. Let's see what is time spec. If you go to, let's see, well, here is this reference to CPP, C++, and you could see that it's a structure broken down into seconds and nanoseconds. That's the only thing you need to know. It's just a struct with with seconds and nanoseconds. Let me see if there is. I guess this one was providing a better. Yeah, there you go. It is basically the struct, seconds and nanoseconds. Now, we just initialize this time spec with empty data, and then we execute this clock get time. Clock get time is a C function, and if you go here, you can see that you're passing something called clock real time, whatever that is, and a reference to this object. So basically, you're providing TS, which is the object that we created earlier, and clock get time will initialize that object for you, passing one parameter here. And you have, as far as I know, sorry, as far as I know, four different types of clocks. Um, just spoiler alert, I'm not pretty familiar with C and low level APIs like this one, but I will do my best to explain it for you. But I mean, it's not super complicated. I just need to read the documentation. The first one is the one that we are using, clock real time, and then it's basically getting the real clock in your system. Okay. Now, how C calculates that clock for you? Well, that's another story, and maybe that will require a series to understand that. Maybe if I'm not too lazy, probably I could dig more into that soon. But you know, it's something that definitely requires more context. Or maybe I could invite someone that knows C in detail. Who knows? If you're one of those, please send me a message. Um, the other is a monotonic clock. Um, we'll say clock that cannot be set and represent monotonic times in some specific. I'm not sure what's going on with this. But what I can understand of monotonic time is a clock that, especially in Linux systems, that it's a time that is not affected by the time zones. So, for example, this is useful when the time in your application is extremely critical. Okay, and this time it's always moving forward. It will never be back to previous um, time. Let's say, for example, in a real time clock, you can manage the time, right? You can maybe be in a time zone there is in an earlier time than another one, but in the monotonic, it's just a, let's say in this way, it's just like a constant uh, value that it never go back to in time. It's always moving forward all the time, all the time, all the time. And um, this is useful to fix one of the biggest issues in time in software development. Time is complicated. Managing different time zones is really complicated. But if you have one single constant value that it's always moving ahead, and then you can represent really precise um, the time, no matter time zone. Well, that's kind of the work you can do with monotonic. Again, I'm not an expert. Maybe there's a better uh, description for this one, but that's what I'm understanding for this. The other two, well, I'm too lazy to understand what's going on, but it's related to ideas for something like that. But the point of here is just real time. So now in that, this is basically providing the seconds and nanoseconds from the real time. Okay, whatever is your time right now, that will be initialized uh, to this TS value. And then here, we're doing something really interesting. Um, we are we are doing some calculation here to get um, whatever is in this in the seconds from TS. We are subtracting this from this time, which is something between 1970 and reference daytime. What is reference daytime? It's basically January 1st, 2001. Okay. Um, Again, here will require more exploration, and maybe you know more uh, what is why we need to do this kind of operation. Um, but that's kind of the calculation we are doing here. And then basically all of this is just to get the time, sorry, from January 1st, 2001. That's the only um, purpose of this operation. Okay. And we are getting this uh, to get what uh, what we got from seconds, but we are like normalizing the time here. Um, and then finally, we got the nanoseconds from the other property and then just converted into seconds. And then we added that into this red variable. And then we return that. That's how this works in Swift. We have to use a C um, low level API to get the data. And I'm pretty sure that if you explore the foundation framework from Apple, that probably is written in Objective C, probably it's pretty close to this one. I hope this explanation could help you to understand a little bit more how date works under the hood. By the way, regarding to the print, um, uh, printing a date without format, well, here you can see um, a little bit of how this is implemented. I don't want to take so much detail, but you can see here the format that we are using for uh, this kind of object. So yeah, that's a little bit of how this state framework works. And yeah, if you are curious, I will actually, if you've explored the description already, you can see that that link, and you can then go to another one. Let's say, for example, UUID. Um, Again, I don't want to take so much time here, but yeah, you can see. Okay, we initialize a UUID with a tuple of n number of values, etc., and then how we calculate the UUID according to what we normally got from that. But look at that; it's here a little bit more low level Swift with unsafe pointers. Let me read the comments. Ivan is saying it's full of what's the name of its symbol directives. Not sure if I understand your question, man. Excuse me. It's full of what's the name of the symbol directives. Yeah, if you could elaborate a little bit more your question, man, I probably could answer better. And well, that's about it for Swift Foundation. Now, I would like to talk about something really cool I explored during um, these 2 weeks that was about uh, scanning 3D objects in iOS. And this is because I am exploring Vision OS. We talked about it in the previous episode. If you want to take a look, and I have an idea of an app. I would like to give you more details later, but it it is involving something with 3D objects. Not because I want to make a three triple A game, um, but it's something that would like to take a look and try to figure out if I can add objects, but without modeling, because 3D modeling is something that requires some time to get good on that. Um, and then I saw one of the top DC episodes regarding to scanning 3D objects. Let me see. Meet. Yeah. Yeah. Here is the video I saw from .PC talking about that. Let me just go back to the comments. Um, Calling FM saying, "Do we need this in day-to-day mobile development for small apps?" Um, do you mean about um, 3D objects, or do you mean about foundation? Just asking because I don't know if you were talking about the previous uh, uh, section or this one. Oh, okay, got it. Um, how can I explain that? I mean, the short answer is yes. You may use it in many of your apps. I mean, for example, um, date. It's pretty. Uh, it's one of the most uh, useful objects in Swift. Um, I don't. I mean, you can use it in many places that I don't have any idea of why you wouldn't like to use it. Um, there are many applications to that. Um, you have, for example, data. With data, you can transform um, one object into something more generic or more uh, more generic in the way that you can save it uh, in a database or save it in a format that is compatible with any type. For example, let's say that JSON, you already know how you need uh, to parse a JSON object. Well, you have tools for that. You have predicates. Predicates are useful now that you have Swift data that we want to talk later. Um, but or core data, uh, to write queries, or strings. Not sure what kind of other things are here. um, but yeah, in short, this is one of the most important frameworks in Swift, um, because it provides many of the tools to build complex apps. So, answering your question, yes, but the long answer again is always it depends, because I don't know what kind of app you're gonna use. You're gonna do if you want just to, I don't know, do an app to show something, to show a concept. Maybe not, but I'm pretty sure that 99% of the apps you're gonna do, you you're about to use any of those foundation tools. And just remember that this list will eventually be bigger than what I'm seeing here. Actually, they are saying that more coming later. And right now, this foundation Swift foundation framework is um, uh, beta. Let's call it in that way. right? It's not fully ready for production, but eventually uh, we will replace what is in the current Apple Foundation with this open source Swift Foundation. So, but it's great that it's available and you can take a look and answer maybe a question. In fact, that will be a great interview question. No, just kidding. I mean, it will be a hardcore question if you ask someone ask you how that works internally. Yeah, sure. Thanks for asking, Corinne. Okay, going back to what I was saying about 3D objects. This will be also really cool to you if you are planning to develop a Vision app or OS app. In fact, I mean you can do this for any of the frameworks, uh, any of the OSs like iOS, macOS, etc. Right? But I think for Vision OS is more spectacular. I don't know, because the point is like interacting with 3D objects or objects, in front of you in a kind of with augmented reality. And but anyway, I was studying about it, and I saw this video saying, okay, object capture, and it was pretty interesting that they provided one um, one source code. Let me open. Give me 1 second. Quickly go here. Sorry, I had to open my own live session and I'm hearing myself twice. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, there you go. This one. I had the link here. Um, yeah, this download link will give you access to the demo that is talking about in this session. And if you open it here, let me go back now to open Xcode. Where am I? Oh, you know what? Let me open it. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, I had to take a break because I'm talking a lot. Um, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to explaining and and being the host of your own live podcast. Anyway, I got it. Can you see? Can you see my screen? I guess. So this is the code, and it's pretty long. So I'm not planning to boring you and explaining you in detail here. Um, but yeah, if you want to take a look to that, um, you have access to this source code. Okay, and this source code will provide you an app to scan 3D objects. And I don't know you, but that's incredible. Because again, previously, the only way you could uh, create 3D objects is just with 3D modeling. But 3D modeling consumes a lot of time. And maybe you are a big company that can, you know, purchase some kind of a 3D scanner or something like that. Who knows? But for simple people, like me, well, there was no way around to, you know, generate a 3D object by yourself. But now you are capable to do that. In fact, let me go back. Let me get one of the items I I scanned during the week. Hey, you can see that I'm wearing shorts. By the way, if you were curious about it, uh, look at that. Look how beautiful is this piece of art. This one amiibo from, you know, the 30 yeah, 30 anniversary of Mario Bros. And this one is Wolflink from, Zelda Twilight Princess, one of my favorite games ever. um, let me share. Yes, this is what I one of the videos I recorded. Is the more extended version of the one. Oops, give me 1 second. No, yeah, there we go. I'm going to share this. Yeah, I think you're seeing my screen, right? Yeah, there, here. Yeah, I took this one. This this is the application, and I'm showing this video because um the way to run this, probably you don't have the hardware to run this. That's one of the issues that you need to be aware with this. Um, First, you need iOS 17. That means if you are watching this video right now, you need to install a beta in in your cell phone. And if you don't have a device um, with iOS 17 compatible, probably you will have to use your main device, which is absolutely not a good idea. In some words, right? Because I just installed that and it's working pretty good. I haven't seen any issue. Maybe just a visual issue, but not super crazy, not crashes or restarts, nothing like that. I get at this point, iOS is so, um, you know, it's, it got many iterations. So I'm expecting that over time, those betas are pretty uh, adding some um, i- uh, features, but not critical features for the OS. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, it's not a major upgrade. Okay, so I'm not saying go ahead and install it because I'm not sure if that will if something else will happen. But unless in my experience, everything is good smoothly. And the other thing, more important, is that you need a LiDAR scan like this. I don't know if you have an iPad. You might see, yeah, that little guy here. Okay, a little guy is a LiDAR scan. That's the third. That's the second one. The second requirement. And the third requirement is that you need an 814 chip or later. So basically, that means uh, you need an iPhone 14 and above. Even I'm not sure if the iPhone 14, the simple one, got that LiDAR scan. So TLDR, probably you need an iPhone 14 Pro, which is, I don't know. It's not a good plan to just spending that kind of money just for an experiment. Well, but I did it for you. Okay. So, and the other thing is that you cannot run this scan demo in a simulator. It's absolutely requiring a real device. Okay, with all those requirements, I got lucky because I got an iPhone 14 Pro. I cannot show it to you because it's the one that is recording the session right now. Um, but I got this. Okay, so I had to create. First off, you need to focus on the object, and sometimes that happen. It's not perfect technology. Oh, what's going on? Okay, I don't know what happened with that. But yeah, I just mm, those kind of what? I'm not sure what's going on with the. Okay, maybe I did many tries. Sorry, my fingers there. Well, the thing is that the camera will try to get the edges of your object. Okay, and then you need to manually and align the the edges in order to make the software understand what is the areas that it will scan. Okay, it's not too complicated to figure that out, but you need to to take a look to the three aspects. I mean, from X, Y, and Z. Just I mean, from the sides and up and down. And once you're done, you press capture, and then the software will guide you to move around. And yeah, if you're moving too fast or too close, it will say, okay, move far away or move closer, or maybe you need more light, or you need to slow down. Or look at that, for example, move slower. And then you all the time you will have to move and point to the object that you want to scan. Okay, and there are guide lines below saying to telling you that okay, the scanning is complete. And if for some reason the lines are not turning white, that means there is something wrong with that scanning and you need to go back. Okay, and then sometimes you will need to flip the object to capture what is uh, at the bottom, but in my case that wasn't necessary. Okay, then just basically you need to do the same, but now for lower and higher angles to get a better perspective of your um, object. Okay, I don't want to worry you with this, but let's move forward. Blah 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 blah. Okay, second segment complete, and now doing the same with uh, a higher perspective. Yeah, all segment complete. That means the software will process the image, generating points, match, whatever, you know. And after 1 or 2 minutes at most, there you go. Look at that. You will have your 3D object there. Yay. Okay. And yeah, you can put it on, side by side with the real one. And I don't know if you, but in some uh, light situations, it's kind of complicated to distinguish which one is the real one. Of course, here you can identify that the lights are better in the real one because um, I guess that's the next step. Um, Later, I'm pretty sure that the um, lidar scan or the or the cell phone or any camera that will read your uh, 3D modeling will understand the lights in your environment, and probably that will create something called normal maps, which means um, TLDR is something. It's an optimization technique that 3D object uses to render information for. Well, let me stop this guy here. Um, to understand how to point out the lights in your objects. It's a technique that most of the 3D games nowadays uses instead of recreating some kind of you know shapes. They can put how light should supposed to be, and it works really well. And I don't know, something like that could happen. And then if you put your object in some place and then you wrote it, probably you'll see different light effect in your object. Um, but I guess, I mean, right now that's the first step, a really big step. And the great thing with this is actually, I think I didn't mention that, but you are able to um, save those objects in a file and then bring it here into uh, Xcode or Real Composer Pro, for example. Um, Let me share my screen again. Yep. Here, for example, this is Real Composer Pro. Um, and you can see that I just imported those objects. Yeah, look at that. This is the wolf link that I mentioned earlier, right? It's here. And um, you can see that I can manipulate the objects. Hey, what's going on, man? There you go. So I can play with it, right? And I have other objects here, but I have to say that it's it is still in development, right? It's not a super perfect. Sometimes, for example, look at that. That's my Mac, Apple Mac, right? That will depend of many situations, but sometimes it's not super. Even that mm, this object is not super complicated compared to the other ones. Um, it's I don't know. It's kind of look at that. This light is not bad. It looks pretty in low resolution. I don't know. Looks weird, right? Looks like not well scanned. That happens sometimes, and you need maybe to adjust the lights or do something else. That's another example from this uh, Charizard amiibo. It's, I mean, no bad, but definitely maybe not super um, professional or something that you may use in your uh, Vision OS application. But compared to, let's move this one. Oops. But for example, oh, come on. It's hard to manipulate this. But look at that. Look, for example, to this one. I don't know, but in my opinion, that's one of the best that I could capture. It's pretty close to to the original, in my opinion. And yeah, you can do this for your objects. Maybe just try and error is the best tool for you here. Um, Christian Cardoso is asking, can we export it to STL file? I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what is STL. Uh, but you can. Let me share my screen. Yeah, again. I will try to find out the files that are exported. Uh, okay. Here we go. Okay, let me share. Okay, let me see if you can see this. Nope, probably not. Well, okay. Okay, what about this? Yeah, there you go. So what this is exporting is, for example, this Mario model is something, is a file with extension USDS. Okay, I'm new with 3D objects, 3D modeling, 3D model, well, 3D objects in files. But I'm not sure if this is a kind of a standard object or something like that. But yeah, if you want to uh, get have to your objects in your screen, that this is a way to do it. Look at that. This it was horrible. It's broken. Yeah, I did many experiments. Oh, look at that. This is one from one of the books I have here, from Steve Jobs, and it's pretty fluid. Um, but that's the only file I got. I'm not sure if I got click action. Yeah, no, there's no way for that. Oh, for okay, 3D printer format. No, I don't think. Well, as far as I know, I don't have any idea of if you can convert that to a 3D object, a 3D printer file. But that could be a great project. I'm not sure. For example, if I open it with, let me see if I can open it with a text file. Oh, look at that. Visual Studio. You're not seeing this, but let me see if I can open it with Visual Studio. Nope. Looks like I can't. Nope. I mean, I tried to open it. This is what I got. It's a it's a binary file, so yeah, there's nothing else to do here. So I don't want to mess these things up. Okay, that's yeah, it's pretty sure that that will require more work to convert it to that kind of file that you're looking for. Um, but that will be great. So I will investigate more about it. That definitely will be pretty useful. But my only concern here is that being a format from Apple, that's what I'm assuming, unless someone else has a different uh, context, that may be tricky, but not impossible. Yeah. Um, Ivan is saying, has a next step, this 3D object could be imported to use for the Vision S. Yeah. Let me see if I can do this right now. Again, I had many issues during this week, so I didn't prepare this demo. Let me see. Let me see if I can share this with you. Okay. Oops. Let me share my screen one more time. Vision OS. Okay. This is a simple demo. Let me just compile it. Okay, I'm hearing the sound. I'm hearing the sound. but nothing has appeared yet. Okay, it's taking its time. Um, yeah, one of the things I had to do with this effect, with this kind of application, for example, let me moving around is complicated. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, look at that. So you can see here that this is a 3D object. Okay, and this in this demo, the object is provided here. Yeah, and you can open it with Real Composer Pro here in this looking here. And let me see if I just can drag and drop my Mario model here. Let me do that. Nope. I I just need to study that, honestly, because I'm not sure. Yep. Uh, let me give you one more time. Mm. Yep. Nope. Looks like I need to do something else. But let me share again. Yeah, if you open here, actually, you can see here. Where am I? Ah, okay. You can see here. Hey, what's going on? Why I cannot insert this object here? Maybe there are too much. What? Hmm. Okay, I have no. Oh, okay, there we go. What? Oh, I see. I understand now. I understand. Um, yeah. Okay. So if you saw earlier, I had that sphere. Okay, and then what I did is just uh replacing the sphere, and then I put it my 3D objects here. Okay, but I haven't saved this file here. So what I'm gonna do is let me get rid of. Uh, okay, okay. Let's see what happened if I save this. There you go. Oh yeah. Okay, that happened. Okay, I just saved that in Composer Pro. Then I'm going back to Xcode and look at that. Right now, it's not a sphere anymore. It's my Mario object. Then I'm assuming that if I go back, okay, this will be a great time to. Oh yeah, there we go. That's pretty cool. Okay, what's going on with my 3D object? Because I'm just seeing it. Oops, in 2D. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, it's 3D. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh yeah, yeah, it's there. He's there. Uh, but it's pretty dark. Why? Yeah. Okay, he's there. Okay. I learned something new to you, along with you guys. uh, okay, let's see if I change the lights. Maybe let's put this. Oh yeah, look at that. It's working. Sorry, because those controls on. I mean, having a simulator is great, but still, you know. Let's see what happened if I make it larger. Okay, there you go. Okay, that's better. Oh, okay, much better. And then there you go. Yep, here is Mario. Oh my goodness, managing this is pretty bad. Okay, yep, there you go, guys. This is the new scene. So yeah, I guess for more information about this, please take a look in the description and take a look to meet uh, capture objects in 3D, and you will take a look to um, how to replace. Oh, Xcode got closed. Xcode crashed for some reason. Anyway, um, you will take a look to that video, and you will see more about how to import your custom 3D objects in your screen, and that's about it. So I guess the sky's the limit right now. If you have an idea in mind, you could take take a look to this. I understand that some of you may not have the right hardware for this, um, but I mean it's what it is. Eventually, uh, the, there will be more iPhones with more capabilities, or iPads, or in the future, who knows, maybe your Mac with a better uh, webcam system could be able to scan that um, directly in your computer. Who knows? But it's a big step. In case of you wanted to take a look to the objects, the other way is just 3D modeling. That I'm pretty sure that you can also take a look if you want to take vision as seriously, um, like I do, or at least trying to do my best. Um, so before ending, let me review the last um, comments. Valerio, hey, Valerio, how are you? Will be interesting to see if you create a state and then add an animation to that 3D model. Uh, definitely, you could will be a great idea. Yeah, just to less changing the colors of light, depending of I don't know, pressing a button or something happening in your app. The thing I want to do later is moving objects, right? So right now there is just an object static in your app, but I would like just to see if it's possible to grab it, to have it in your hand. The only problem right now that I'm seeing is that I don't know how to do that in the simulator. If that's possible, that will be awesome, but that will require more context. Um, but yeah, thanks for the idea. Christian Cardoso, wow, e-shopping gonna be amazing. Yeah, right. I mean, in the Apple demos, they show I don't know, uh, purchasing some shoes and some tennis, um, and It's great, to just scrolling on your object, and maybe even putting side by side with real objects. I don't know, maybe you have a notebook with you and you put it side by side and say, okay, that object, that shoe or whatever you wanted to purchase, it's like the same size of my notebook or my mug or whatever. And then your brain could understand, okay, this is what I'm expecting, or maybe it's too small, maybe it's too big, who knows. uh yeah, definitely you will see that from Amazon pretty soon. I guess if I'm not wrong, I guess you can do something like that already, at least in 3D, exploring some kind of objects. But yeah, this will be standard pretty soon. Ivan saying, could you repeat the name of the feature the devices need to have? Yeah, iOS 17, LiDAR scan, and iOS 4, a chip with A14 Bionic or later. Um, you can find out all the details in the description too. I left a short video, and in that short contains all the info about it. But if not, let me just point it out to that video. Um, oh, give me give me 1 second. There you go. If you're curious, just sharing I'm just sharing that information to you. It is in that video. And okay, and well, let me see if there are more comments. Get lidar scanner, but yeah, it was like lidar scan. The again, this is a lidar scan, for example. Okay, this is an iPad Pro from 2020. Yeah, late 2020. It's not compatible. Unfortunately, it's not compatible. Actually, if you saw my tweets about, hey, I'm going to upgrade my iPad to iOS 17, that was the reason, because I wanted to test it out. I could try it. Actually, I was able to run it here. The problem is that the app will crash. Um, and the error message is not pretty descriptive. But then I investigated a little further, and I find out, okay, the problem is that the chip in this device is not compatible with the one required for this capability, for this 3D scanning. That's I'm assuming that's the reason. But yeah, you, at least if you wanted to open it, if you have an iPad Pro with that lidar scan, yeah, this is what you can do. Um, but it's a shame. Like, for example, I have that this iPad is pretty good. Okay, I mean, I don't need more power on this piece of hardware. But if I can do something like 3D model, 3D scanning, I can't. Even though it has a lidar scan, iOS 17, and everything else except the chip. So I theoretically I need to upgrade this, paying another $1,000 for a new device to just do that. It works the money, it works the movement. Uh, Again, it's the same like the. Would you like to purchase the Apple Vision Pro? It's just because you are doing an investment. But to be honest, if you're not planning to do that, no, I don't think so right now. Well, who knows? Or if you're planning to purchase it and just keep it in the box for 10 years, maybe in 10 years later, that will cost you, you know, uh, 10 times the value. But okay, but maybe it's another great way to invest your money. But who knows? That's a kind of gambling, in my opinion. um, well, that's about it. I just wanted to take a look and explore more of what I did during my time um, during these weeks, because well, sometimes it's complicated to me to create a long video, understanding that. But I'm taking shorter paths, like uploading short content and trying to describe something in 1 minute. I guess is that's a great way to understand something. But maybe if you want to talk with me and learn more, I'm planning to uh, take a deeper look into all those details. And maybe in the next one, I would like to explore also more about the Swift macros and all those things that I haven't started studying yet because I was focusing on many other things. Um, but well, that's about it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and enjoy the rest of the day. Take care.